Hello.
I don't know if people know this about me yet, but I'm an avid dog lover. You know that about me, Dan. How much do I like dogs, Dan?
She loves them. Even to the dog show.
The National Dog Show.
Yeah.
Well, before COVID. Yeah, every year since, I want to say 2013 or so, since we started dating. It's a magical place. It's where they have every single breed of dog that you could meet, and it's benched, which means that the handler has to be with the dog to answer questions from the public during certain times of the event, and it's just amazing. These dogs are the most beautiful dogs, I guess, in the world, perhaps, but they're also very well behaved. But anyway, I dragged Dan, and he goes, and of course, they tend to love him more than even me, but it's just, yeah.
Hey.
I'm obsessed with dogs, and I have been since at least when I was 8. My parents refused every single time, and I went down the food chain. I thought, okay, well, what about a kitten? No. What about a rabbit? No. What about a fish? No. A salamander? Nope. So I kind of just gave up on it. But since Dan and I got married, and Dan, you come from a long line of doggy friends.
Yeah, I had dogs when
Lucky. From Chip to me to, what was the one that was a beagle? So we thought that when we moved to this apartment that we could apply for a service dog. And so last spring, that's what we did. And it's a process. No matter what organization you go through, it's not easy to be considered for a service dog. Most programs won't charge you as a recipient for the dog and the training and all the experience. But because of that, there tends to be very long waiting lists and a lot of administrative steps that you have to take. When we started the process, we were progressing. We were aware that we could be rejected or declined for the service dog. But things were progressing nicely. We had our interview and we discussed how we would take care of the dog and work as a team and figuring out the dog's routines. It was a long process. But we got the notice through email that they weren't going to move forward with our application. And then they referred us to a whole bunch of other service dog organizations. And like, you know, from at that point, we had already spent almost 2 months in this process. And I wrote back and I said, okay, I'm really sorry to hear this. Can any feedback be provided? And of course, it was just total radio silence. If they accepted everyone in the program, then the wait list would be much longer. Now, to that, I just want to say, it doesn't make any sense because there are ways to manage. Speaking of dogs, there's one right now. It's so cute. It looks like a poodle. It's so pretty. Anyway, there are ways to pause applications. Don't accept applications for a certain period of time. If you know that it takes a certain amount of time to train a dog, to have it go through the whole system and process than halt applications. That, I think, is a more efficient process, is to break down how many applicants you need to match the amount of dogs that you have in the puppy program and getting breeded. I mean, you can do those calculations. This isn't something that I feel is impossible. The other thing too is that for there to be no feedback, no openness about or transparency about the decision, I feel as though it really misses the mark in terms of the population in which service dog organizations work in. I mean, you're largely dealing with a group of people, the disabled community, that often have to deal with rejection. We're told almost constantly, no, you can't do this, or oh, that street doesn't have a curb cut, you can't, cross it, or oh, the bus lift is broken down, or oh, we're not offering you that job. Oh, I don't like you that way. I mean, even on a personal level, rejection is a common theme. And so to not be open in the process and explain, well, we felt that blah, 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 blah about your application, and this may help you as you continue in applying through other organizations, because it's similar to a job application that you are rejected from. How are you going to know what to improve upon if you're just given radio silence? It's not helpful. And I know that, coming from an HR background, I know that this is likely to do with litigation and avoidance of it and not having to deal with that, and it gets more complicated. I think that's a perception. I don't think it could be that complicated. It was painful to experience and to go through, and it's like, you know what? I gotta wait again. We want our dog to share its love with the world and be a therapy dog to others, and so I think that fits us more closely, and maybe that was a reason, but I don't know. I will never know. So I hope that this organization and other service dog organization reconsiders its process and how it communicates to its population and its recipients to be a more fair and transparent process. I hope this was helpful, and thank you much for watching.
Yeah.
Keep it Ginchiest. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Ginchiest, where we talk about our disability experiences and what they teach us about being human.
Subscribe. I dare you.
Oh my God, you ruined it.